Loving the get ready with me's at the minute, so get ready with me to go out to an event. We're going out for a little dinner event tonight, so I thought I would do my glam with you, as always. Also, do any of you recognise this setup? I feel like this was maybe like about a year ago I had this setup. I'm sat back on the floor again. I just fancied being, you know, on the floor with my makeup all spread out around me, having a nice time getting ready today. So that is why we're back on the floor, if you notice the background's different. Just going to start with a little bit of the We Cherie primer, of course. This is just a super tacky primer, so it's going to act almost like a glue and stick my makeup to my face all night long. And then for my pore blurring primer, I'm going to go a little bit bougie tonight and use the YSL one. I really like this. It's nice and like blurring. You'll see in a second. There you go. I don't know if you can see there, it's actually got like little gold flakes in it. It's literally so unique, but it looks very wet. But when you put it on, I don't know if you can see here, as you blend it out, it's actually really nice and blurring and mattifying. Obviously, I've got dry skin, so I don't like to put this all over my face, but just in the T-zone, it's perfect. Always the areas that you have to go in and top up with powder throughout the day, they're the areas you want to put your pore blurring primers in. A little trick that I always do, you'll probably see if you watch my videos, I always set my primers down with some setting spray, because the longer your primers last, the longer your makeup will last. Foundation, I'm going to use some of my very well loved, as you can tell, True Match Tinted Plumping Serum. This is a skin tint, but it's got like hyaluronic acid and skincare ingredients in it, so it's super nice and hydrating. Considering it's skin tint, the coverage on this is so nice. Look at how glowy it is as well. I literally love it, as you can tell by the state of the bottle at the start. Popping on some concealer. This one's the Lancome Tinty Doll Ultra Wear. And then, because as per always I'm running late, I'm just going to pop on a little bit more cream bronzer whilst I wait for the concealer to dry down a little bit. This one is obviously the Pink Honey. Green blush, I'm going to pop on a little bit of the Made by Mitchell and Holly Flynn collab in the shade My Darling. I've not tried this yet, so I'm excited to crack this one open. Let's see what this is like. I think it's like, yeah, a pinky peachy kind of colour. I love these kind of blushes. I don't think I've actually ever tried a shade exactly like this before though. It's very unique. That is literally stunning. I love that shade so much. Also melts into the skin so nicely, as blushes always do. Powder, I'm cracking open a new one of my fave. This is the Vitamin Babe one, of course, in the shade Fair. If you haven't seen me talk about this powder before, literally where have you been? I use it in nearly every single one of my videos. I'm just going to use that on a little Pink Honey and Cariad puff. I love this puff. It's so pointed, so you can get right in the inner corner. I'm sorry, but the difference that makes is literally incredible. And anywhere I like to powder on the rest of my face, I just use a brush for, because I don't like it too matte in like my nose, my forehead and on my chin as well. Bronzer, I've got a new one from Kylie to try. This is the shade Toasty 300. I don't know how this is going to be, because I am very picky with my bronzers, so using a new one for the first time is kind of risky. It's quite nice though. Definitely don't need a heavy hand with it. Like, you can put on the tiniest bit on the brush and that just sets everything in place nicely and sort of re-intensifies the colour a little bit. And then on my eyes, I'm just going to pop on a little bit more of that bronzer just to tie everything in nicely together, because obviously we don't have time for eyeshadow, because when do I have time for eyeshadow? And then to pop on some quick shimmer, I've actually got this liquid eyeshadow from Giorgio Armani. I've not tried this before, but I think this will be perfect. It's in the shade 12.5. It's not, it's in the shade Shell, which is 12S, not 12.5. Just pop some of that on the back of my hand there, and I'm gonna work it into the brush and then go straight onto the eye like this. Look at that. I knew I would love this. It's literally just added like that little reflect sparkle that I absolutely love. I feel like this always makes it look like you've spent absolutely ages on your eyeshadow, and realistically this is taking me about 30 seconds and it is done. Moment for that again, please. Let's just watch. Stunning! I love this. I'm going to use this all the time now. Just realised I never put any blush on, so I'm just going to pop on a little bit of Parma Violet. This is from the same range as the Blushes, the Holly and Mitchell range, and it is, again, absolutely stunning. Look at the reflex on this. It's like purple. Beautiful! On a brows in place, of course, I'm just going to use a little bit of the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit. I'm just not really a soap brow girly anymore, you know. I feel like my brows are just too big for it. I mean, obviously, if you've got big brows, absolutely slay the soap brows, but fluffy brows are my vibe nowadays. Be right back. For mascara, of course, it has to be my absolute OG favourite, the Lash Sensational Waterproof. I have used this for absolute years. I think it was one of the first mascaras that I ever tried and absolutely loved. You know, like back from the Zoella days. She used to use this all the time. I was well and truly influenced at the age of about 12, and still to this day, absolutely love it. Liner in between two from Rimmel, I've got Cappuccino and Tiramisu. One's a little bit more brown, so I don't know whether I should go for the more natural one. Hold on, I'm just going to try the more brown one, because I actually haven't worn this before, so I want to see what it looks like on me. This is very dark and very cool tone, so I'm just going to try and warm it up a little bit using some of the NYX Fat Oil. You'll have seen me use these at the minute, because I literally, it's basically all that I'm using. I absolutely love them. This is the shade Supermodel. What are we thinking? I feel like this is very different for me, but I absolutely absolutely love it. Like, it makes my lips look huge. Feeling very 90s with this lip on. I'm gonna whack a lash on quickly just so I can get like the proper vibe, and I'll be right back. How beautiful are these lashes? I already know so many of you are gonna ask what they are. They're the Claudia Kilsby lashes in FL1 cut in half. I don't know why I've gone so orange then with the lighting, but they are literally beautiful. I'm liking this lip with how the rest of the makeup is looking. I'm just gonna set everything in place using that Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray again. This is the vitamin C one, by the way, because I don't think I mentioned before, but it's the yellow one. Pop my outfit on, and that is me all ready to go out for my event.